welcome back to episode 49 of the Hops and Bobs podcast. I am producer Tom.
I am Mike.
I'm Joe.
And we come with you with another album and a beer, go figure. Today we have Mothership Connection by Parliament.
Yes.
And to pair with that, we have Back East Brewery's Infinite Universe.
Ooh.
Yes. So this seems to be a really nice pairing.
Yes.
So thank you. I appreciate that.
I really tried. Mike has had this album on the calendar for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
One of my dark horse albums.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay.
Not what you would think.
Yeah.
I just love it though.
I had a different beer, actually a couple different beers, but I was like, the pairing doesn't really match. So I wanted to try and match this, and I saved the beers for the other episode, or the one I wanted to do. Yeah, so I went with this. I remembered Tom brought this one time just to drink, and I tried it. It was really good. It's Back East Brewery's Infinite Universe. It's an IPA, and it's made exclusively with Galaxy hops, hence the name.
Ooh.
Fits the theme very well.
Okay.
Mothership Connection has the UFO on the album cover. Very spacey themed, so I thought it would be a good pairing.
Okay.
So, an infinitely delicious Galaxy IPA that is out of this world. So, there we go.
All right. Let's pass
Crack
them
it
around.
open?
Pass them around.
All right, let's do it.
So on their website here it says, brewed with Galaxy hops, this light and pillowy New England style IPA is characterized by notes of papaya and pineapple. And it is a limited availability, so.
Yes. So
Right on the
I went to my local liquor store. They were out of it. And I was determined to get this beer because I liked the colors. I liked how the label kind of matched the album cover. So I went to another place and I got the last 4-pack.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Back East, the band, we actually played there a couple times.
Yeah.
Great place. Good staff. Good beer selection. Might I recommend the Ice Cream Man with their, I don't even know, what was it, blackberry sour topper? Holy crap.
Topper.
My Jesus.
That thing was delicious.
Like a black and tan?
Yeah.
Or one floats on the other?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It was awesome. So go definitely check that out.
Right,
But
very
yeah,
active.
Infinite Universe, our IPA of the day. What do you guys think?
It's interesting.
Not a pineapple fan? It's not bad.
Yeah. I'm not getting a lot of the pineapple. Definitely citrusy overall.
Yeah.
Pretty
clean.
Has a nice hoppy kick to it.
Yep.
What are we at here? 6.8.
Inside it says 6.6 on their website.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right on the can, 6.8. Maybe they upped it.
Oh, titties.
Interesting.
Oh, titties.
I'm going with the pineapple theme.
Yes.
Yeah, Back East is like a bigger brewery in the Connecticut scene. They've got, I know at least in the liquor store that's right next to where I work, they have like a one per customer kind of thing on it because I guess they just go off the shelf so quick.
I do like that they have not only what looks like the Star Wars, I don't even know what you would call that because I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Oh, like the fighter
yeah,
jet
what a
thing.
little
X-Wings.
The little fighter jet.
Oh, yeah.
And then they also have the hops in the shape of a spaceship.
Oh, that's
that is
sick.
cool,
I
yeah.
didn't see that.
Really cool.
I like that a
Cool
lot.
can design layouts.
Yeah, just, has a very, even with the Back East Brewery, it's got like the Back to the Future kind of labeling.
Yeah.
Do you see here the gray little designs? It's the game Asteroids.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty sick. Where you shooting the...
Yeah.
This might be one of the most subtle yet best can designs we've had.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
The little robot head.
It's a very bright, it almost looks like an orange juice, maybe like a mango kind of color to it. It's very bright.
I like how their tagline too is "Find your way back."
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
For the brewers, find your way back. Yeah.
Find your way back east.
Yep.
But it fits the Infinite Universe too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I really like the spacey vibes it gives off.
I'll tell you right now, if I went to the moon, I couldn't find my way back.
I thought you were going to say, if I went to the moon, I'd take one of these with me.
oh, hell yeah. I mean,
well, I would just find the blue marble and I want to go there.
Bring me there.
True,
I
just feel like even though it's there, it's not there.
True. Space is weird, man.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Are we going to get into this? We're going to start smoking if we're
Outtakes.
getting into this.
Yeah. Extended cut.
Am I wrong or no?
The Snyder cut. The Atkins cut.
The 4.5 hour long.
Yeah.
Why did they
High
come out with
Galaxy
another
talk.
Suicide Squad? I didn't see it yet, but
Oh yeah,
Sylvester Stallone's a shark. It's just weird.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Well, supposedly it's much
You know what
better.
he looks like though? Please, you're too little. Street Sharks.
Yes, Street
He
Sharks.
looks like Street Sharks.
Love Street Sharks.
I'm too little.
They were a bunch of rollerblading sharks.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a cartoon.
Imagine like
Fucking amazing.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but with sharks. And
Yeah.
and they
Rollerblades.
rollerblade like that's
Yeah.
canon.
Yeah, they rollerblade.
Yeah.
That was like their big
It's
thing.
canon that they rollerblade
My-
down the
Canon,
and
street.
yes.
The best part is, if you go to my parents' house right now, I think I have a box of Street Shark toys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They were kind of my dark horse, kind of like
Yeah.
cartoon, like team.
They were awesome.
I was always into like the team, like cartoons and stuff. Like I love Power Rangers. Like that's my thing.
I have to Fire Stick now and see if I can get them
Oh,
for my
Street
kid.
Sharks.
He would love Street
Yeah.
Sharks.
Can I come over?
We'll do it after this.
Street Sharks Marathon.
Got a lot to do today.
I got a
Heavy on the agenda.
busy day ahead of us.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to say something about this.
Street Sharks?
Now I want Shark Bite fruit snacks.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
The white one?
Oh, the
People
white
at
one was
home,
the
our
best.
3 viewers, probably think we're high right now because we're just all over the place, but we're
wish.
actually not.
Although we are getting delivery for food that
That
will
is
interrupt
true.
the middle of
Yeah.
the show. So
Anyway,
yes,
Fourth album.
Their fourth
moving
album.
on. Okay, so the band Parliament. It's not Parliament Funkadelic.
Yep.
It's Parliament.
Yes.
We learned the difference off air. Parliament Funkadelic is kind of like a supergroup between members of
Yes.
the bands Parliament and
They kind of
Funkadelic.
become, for those who aren't known, obviously, this is well before we were alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Personally, I always kind of hear them as one. Like you have Parliament, you have Funkadelic, you have P-Funk. They just become one jumbled, like
Yeah,
Yes.
the best of the best when it comes to funk.
right.
You know what I mean? But this is specifically, as Joe said, Parliament. Released in 75.
Yep.
Concept
Way
album.
back. This is a concept,
Concept
album?
album.
I
Yeah.
could tell with like little radio intros. It reminded me of Snoop Dogg's
Yeah.
album that we did. What the hell was that?
Doggy style.
Doggy Style.
Well, because you had G-Funk, which
G-Funk,
was the gangster funk, which was where they took a lot of George Clinton's
Yep.
bass riffs
Yep.
and they, sampled them. And which is really cool here, I'm just reading now, is it's the first to feature horn players Maceo Parker
Yep.
and Fred Wesley, previously backed the James Brown band.
Oh,
So
cool.
James Brown and the JBs.
That's a cool combination.
So, bringing them in, and there's just so much going on, and it's just so tight, so good.
Yeah. It sounds like they had a good time.
Oh my God, they had
Yeah.
a blast making this.
Yeah,
You could
maybe,
just tell.
maybe too much of a good time.
Listen, the Library of Congress added this album to their National Recording Registry in 2011.
That's
I
cool.
mean, they are top of the top.
Yeah,
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely a good staple in the times. I also like on the cover where the guy's spread eagle.
Oh yeah,
On the
coming out the door. Just
Yep.
like,
Yep.
It's like, hey guys, how you doing? Here's some music. It's only 7 tracks though.
Yep.
And they're all pretty long. The shortest one is only 4 minutes. Longest tops out about 7.5. Yeah.
it's like a early version of Logic.
Okay. Yes.
What,
Yeah.
what album would it call that?
Incredible True Story.
Yeah, where he was in the spaceship.
Yeah, yeah.
The cover just reminded me
Yes.
of that. Like being like, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes. This is the space race.
But I love the intro because it's an intro.
Yeah.
That's what it's meant to be.
Like,
And
hey
I know
guys,
it's
how
long.
you doing?
That's the one thing. The first 2 songs are like 15 minutes combined,
Yeah.
and they just go.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta just say it.
The
ahead.
bomb. So when that guy says the bomb right in that intro, that's where they use it in the Snoop Dogg one. The Snoop Doggy Dogg,
Yeah.
the bomb.
You're right.
So he does sample a lot from that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
And-
Let's hear it.
I gotta say, I was not a huge fan of this album.
Okay.
Sorry to say. I get its legacy and I get its prominence and its importance, but as an album, it was kind of tough for me to get into. I didn't really get into it until maybe the 3rd song, and then again the 5th song, and then it kind of ended strong for me there. But overall, the intro song it started cool, like, you know.
Yeah.
Got my punk, the P-funk.
Yeah, gotta get funked up.
Gotta get funked up. I like that. But then that was it. And then there was
it
about 4 minutes of...
Like, not a lot.
Not a lot.
kind of jamming.
But it wasn't even jamming.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Live, it would be jamming, but on record, like, if you want that part of a song to be a jammy part, extend it live. But on a recording, if you're gonna have that long break, then throw in like a little horn solo or a little keyboard solo. But there was just nothing, and they kept repeating it, and it was legit 4 minutes. I remember it was like 2:30 to 6:30. So,
okay,
I don't know.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little downer on this album, but that's okay.
No, I can agree in some senses where it does get a bit too jammy at times, but I mean, if you listen to it in the context of how you do some albums where, you know, you put it on and you just kind of don't pay too much attention to it and doing some other stuff or something else like that, I think it does serve a good purpose in that sense, where it sounds like they're all having a great time on the song, and they're all kind of connecting really well and kind of forming to make some pretty decent music. But if you pay really, really close attention to it, I don't think it gives off the same kind of feels, you know?
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. Especially this intro, too.
Yeah, I thought the intro was good. I mean, I definitely think it was long. It could have been shorter.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I said, the first 2 songs combined are like 12 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's a long time to get through 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the second song wasn't my favorite. The title track, which has kind of been a trend for us. Title tracks don't always hold up.
They don't always
hold their weight.
Yeah.
And this one, I gotta say, you know, wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
I like the groove though. Like it
got a
gave
good
more
groove.
of a groove.
I like this one actually quite a bit.
Yeah, the guitar and the keys kind of match, and then the horns supplemented.
Yep.
And the drums are just hanging it tight right there. But then it doesn't progress really.
Yeah.
It's just the same
and I
groove
think
the whole song.
my one take on this is not that vocally there was a bad vocalist, but like lyrically and vocally, like they never like just sang and did their thing. Like,
you know what I can appreciate this album for a lot is what it kind of influenced afterwards.
Yes.
So I didn't ever hear any song off this except for Give Up the Funk later. But because I kind of grew up on more of the rap style era where they incorporate a lot of jazz and funk into their songs. So every time I listen to this, I find something new of like, oh, I think I've heard this in someone else's song where they sample it.
Right.
This one I've heard in, I think it's by 𝙤𝙤 Mafia. He did a song where he kind of...
𝙤𝙤 Mafia?
Oh, eventually we'll do better.
About
awesome.
2.5 minutes in, there's like that part that it's definitely been in hip-hop songs before.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I know Kendrick Lamar does a fair bit of sampling from that, and obviously we mentioned Snoop Dogg before. So I can appreciate this album in that context a bit more, but I can also understand. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it definitely has a really crazy influence on a lot of the more popular, prevalent sounds that I enjoy a lot. But in a pure sense of just this album by itself, I can also understand why it's a little too jammy. It doesn't really progress a lot.
Yeah.
And it's still good.
It's definitely actually music that if you saw live, you'd just be like, just having a good time.
Yeah.
You know,
no, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
This would be a good live show. Yeah.
It'd be a great live show.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, this song again, Mothership Connection drags a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of becomes very repetitive. You're hearing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
So I can see where you lose that a little bit. Like you said, the groove, the horns, all of that plays well. In my opinion, the weakest part is probably the lyrics and the vocals. Like it's kind of very repetitive. It's like the same couple lines over and over again.
Yeah.
Which then make the song seem almost longer than it actually is. I know it's a 6-minute song, but it seems even longer than that when you're repeating.
Right.
So I can understand that.
Yeah. But.
And then Unfunky UFO.
Kind of like this one.
Starts off with that.
Reminds me of Funky
almost like
Monks.
a little country intro.
Oh yeah, it does kind of have a bit of twanginess
twangy,
to it.
Right?
Yeah.
But when it comes in,
This is really
like
the first part where they start singing them. Like actually like
right.
playing a band type music.
Right, and this is like a full band thing. You got the drummer grooving, you got the bass going, rhythm section real tight, guitar just hanging there, the horns are the melody, the singing going. Like
Guy's
this is
belting
what
out
I
a little
want.
bit, like he's really
Right.
making sure people know, like, here I am. Like,
Yeah, this is the song I want, you know.
And then the singer sings, and then those chanted kind of funk backup vocals.
Yes.
And then the singer sings, and then
Yes.
those, like, that's what the first two songs. The first song was kind of like that radio edit, 70s funky, like, I'm giving it the credit for that. You know,
Right.
it sounded like an intro.
Right.
A long intro, but it sounded like an intro.
Right.
The second song, I think they kind of, especially for a whatchamacallit, title track, they kind of missed the mark. This is where they come in and like, all right, this is our groove. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Start getting those synths and like those little keyboards in the
Yep.
background.
Yeah.
And it
Giving
has
that space feel.
Yeah. It's got just enough of a variation to not keep it too stale.
Right.
Like you have little shots of horns come in every once in a while.
Yeah.
Singer kind of gets really soulful.
You know, it's
background vocals.
this is what, probably the shortest or one of the shortest. It's like only 4 minutes.
4:24, second shortest. Handcuffs was the shortest.
Okay.
But yeah.
So it's one of the shorter tracks.
Yeah.
But it does that.
Yeah.
Like you just got a real cool groove. Like you're just
Yep.
jamming to this one.
Yeah. This album is it's harder to review because I feel like it's more of like a jammier, like put it on in the back and then just kind of let the musicians go kind of thing, where it's not super thematical or like, it's not super thematic. Thematical is not a word.
For being a concept album.
Exactly. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe I'm not looking enough into the lyrics and all that. You know, I don't know, but I also feel like there's not a ton of lyrics.
The hook is unfunky kind of UFO from the sun, here from the sun, you got the groove, and we want some. Unfunky and obsolete, we're unfunky and obsolete.
That's what I'm saying though, like
Maybe it's just all just overall like spacey.
I think that's what it is. Like
it's
it's
a
not,
loose concept.
It's not like
exactly.
Who concept album.
No, it's not like
where you're
not like you're telling a story.
Yeah.
Right, not
or like
not
MF
like the
Doom,
American
like
Idiot.
Yeah,
like a Pink Floyd or something like
so
that.
it's a little
Yeah.
it's interesting with that. But this is a good song.
Yeah, no, I like Unfunky UFO for sure.
And
this is kind of where it starts for me.
the album again, the first two songs are almost 14 minutes. And then after that, everything's 4 or 5 minutes. Which I know is still a long time for a song, and we've talked about that. But after you go 7.5, 6 almost and a half, and then you hit
Yeah, right.
4, you start to slow down a bit. And this is the horns killing this. I think it's a good tune.
Yeah, absolutely.
This song jams for sure.
Slaps.
Ooh,
Oh, the slaps a bass.
Yes. What's next?
Great
Okay.
song.
Super
First try, yeah.
list.
Here, don't worry, I got you, Joe.
Okay,
It's
got it.
Super groovalistic prosofunstication.
That's it.
I tip
In
my
parentheses, the bumps bump.
The
I
bumps
love
bump.
this opening.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's a very deep voice, gentlemen. Blue do the lowdown.
You got that little wow.
Baby do the throwdown.
It just grooves.
Yeah.
It just grooves.
Yeah.
Nice.
Such a
We're,
great song.
we're all just sitting here just
We are
bobbing our
bobbing our
heads.
heads
Yeah.
like just.
It doesn't really play well for an audio
It doesn't.
podcast.
Nope. Yeah. Just
But
imagine
Since we can't play the actual songs, we all have it in our headphones.
give the people what they need, and the need is yours and mine. We keep going back to that one.
Just a great little.
I like the
The
low singing. What?
Yeah. Like
What's
a
that, tenor?
The throwdown.
Yeah.
No, it's bass.
bass.
Hey guys, Editor Tom here. This is the part of the episode where we got some delivery, and the driver brought us some food. I don't remember what the guys had, but I had a buffalo chicken wrap. That was like a week ago, and I still remember it's pretty decent. So, if there's a little bit of a break in the audio, that's why. But yeah, let's get back into the album. I believe, if I was not mistaken, we were stuck on super groovalistic prosofunstication.
Yes.
Yes. About halfway through
We
it.
were.
Right
I
now.
nailed that twice now. So
So good. So
I
Go ahead.
No, the only thing I was gonna say was I like that little that synth that plays throughout the whole song. I think that's what they were trying to do when they were like making a concept album for like a space theme, because you can hear a lot of that on older projects that kind of go for that same thing. I know like Bowie kind of has that style too.
Makes sense.
And that kind of influences a lot of G-Funk too, because he had a lot of that style on his releases too. But I just thought that was a cool little addition.
I think it's interesting because when you think of George Clinton, right?
Right.
What do you think of?
This Parliament.
Funk. What's he play?
Bass.
Plays bass, right?
Okay.
That's like his. If you look at the personnel for this band, bass guitar is 𝙄𝙤𝙛𝙞𝙣𝙚 𝙤𝙤𝙀𝙗.
I love 𝙄𝙤𝙀 Collins.
You literally, George Clinton's not even listed.
Really?
He's listed as the lead vocalist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, I imagine him as a singer.
He's always playing bass though.
Yeah, he has a lot of bass like credits on a lot of other songs too. Maybe he took more of a writer role on this, maybe?
I guess, well, right here, I'm looking at Wikipedia. It says he is an American funk musician, singer, songwriter, band leader, and record producer. Didn't even list him as bass.
I also think of him for his prime cameo in the movie Good Burger.
Oh.
Academy Award.
Wow.
Afterthought.
Afterthought. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep. When they were in the insane asylum.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, I just always think of him as a bassist. And just interesting to see him not listed as the bassist. But he did produce it. He is just the man.
He is the man.
The funk
He is
man.
the man.
Yep.
The man of funk. It's like
You
Man
could
of
put him
Steel.
up there with James Brown, and you know, if you think of like a funk Mount Rushmore,
He's on there.
you know, he's definitely on there.
A lot of 𝙄𝙤𝙀 Collins stuff too.
So the so the entire idea of the guy sitting is actually, they said it's he's a big fan of Star Trek. We did a thing with a pimp sitting in a spaceship shaped like a Cadillac.
Oh. Bless you.
Sorry, no, I wasn't looking for that. I was just making sure there wasn't a second one.
No, it's okay.
It's all good. But yeah, so that was kind of the point of the picture there,
I see.
which is interesting.
Okay. Huh.
Kind of funny if you look back too. The last album we did with Jeff Rosenstock, 37 minutes, 17 songs. This is 7 songs, 38 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, longer tracks.
Talk about dynamic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. We got handcuffs up after this one.
Yep.
I like this one. Groovy, a little slower groove.
Yeah, it does slow it down a bit, but it still keeps that that intact groove that they go for. So it's definitely a good vibe.
Handcuffs.
A little more vocal.
Yeah.
I like the
prowess,
horns.
you
A
know?
bit more people on there too.
Yeah.
I like the horns on this track.
Yeah.
The vocalist is Gary Scheider.
Okay.
Gary Scheider.
He's the lead vocalist.
Shout out to Gary.
It's kind of cool though, because like you really can't sit there and like pinpoint who's doing what on what song. Like they're literally just like, we got a shit ton of guys. Let's have some fun. It's kind of a cool, I guess, concept in that sense, of like you don't have, I'm the lead singer, I'm the bassist, it's just.
Yeah, it's very fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, if you want to do this, you can do this, and if this is the kind of feel you want, I mean, get whoever you need from our group and then go do that. There's not really a leader.
You know, and the same guy who's singing and main vocals on this song also is listed as one of their primary guitarists.
Okay.
You know, so it's and you get fucking 𝙄𝙀𝙀 Collins is literally listed on like every vocals,
Yeah, he's
horns, like actually no, not horns, but with bass, guitar, drums, percussion. So it's just interesting how they literally just said, let's have some fun, go to town.
Yep.
Oh, you're on this one? Cool.
Yeah, you got it. You can be on this one. Yeah, this one is a bit more vocally driven. I like that.
And then the next one.
Give up the funk.
Before we move on, is there a female vocalist on this too?
On Handcuffs? Yes. I don't think she's like a lead or anything, but she does kind of splash in there every now and then.
Someone's got like a verse later on that's different.
Maybe it's just falsetto.
Might be.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be just a male with a higher voice, but it sounds. You can tell like the dynamics of multiple vocalists, you know, in that higher register, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Really does.
But yeah, next track. I mean, this is what they're known for.
Yep.
Give up that funk.
Ow.
Yeah, this is a classic song.
Yeah. And just the keyboards are such a different, like, going with that space theme, and I love it. This is.
It's almost like he's just playing whatever.
Yeah.
Like just pressing any.
Oh wait a
keys.
minute.
Yeah. Yep.
This is my favorite song on the album, easily.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that.
It would be my number one.
Yeah. How can it not? I don't know.
We got the funk.
Yeah.
I don't get that funk. Oh, we got the funk. It's just
Whole lot of rhythm going down.
Yeah.
it is though. It's such a good song.
It's a good
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it gives off good, good
Tear the
energy.
roof off this sucker.
Tear the roof off the sucker.
Tear the roof off
Now, if
the
this was
sucker.
written today, wouldn't be sucker.
It would be fucker.
It would be fucker.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't say that. It's 1975. Jimmy Carter would be upset at that.
He can go keep building houses.
He's alive still somehow.
Isn't he like he's the oldest living president?
Yeah, he's like 98 or
He
something.
was like 104.
Damn. Old.
Didn't he like fall and hit his face and then go and build a house the next day or some
yeah,
shit?
yeah, he has like really
Trooper.
black and white face.
The champ.
Then you see pictures of Bill Clinton. He looks like he's fucking Skeletor. Shit ain't looking good. He plays sax too, right?
He does.
Maybe he was on this.
He might have
Maybe.
been.
One of the many guys.
It's true.
Billy Clinton,
Billy Clinton.
related to George.
Yes.
Oh!
George
Brothers.
Clinton's uncle.
We just brought that
cousin.
right around.
We did, yes.
Yes.
That was good.
That's good. A good loop.
No, I mean this is just a class. Maybe a little too long.
Yeah.
A little drawn out. A little bit.
I mean, most of the songs are kind of there though.
I almost feel like it's drawn out if you pay attention. If you don't,
Yeah.
you can just continuously jam this.
Right. True.
Like if we weren't analyzing this song,
Right.
you could jam to this song for the full
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
5.5 minutes.
Yep. Ow.
And I love how they mother, sucker, like
The mother sucker.
you know they want to say fucker,
Right.
Yeah.
but they just couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it.
It was a product of the era.
Yeah.
If you said fuck in a song, you were blacklisted from
Yeah.
ever working again.
Now you're barely censored.
Jim Morrison with The End.
Mhm.
You know how many times they edited that and like just cut out when he was saying it or whatever because he was known to just let it go and it was you couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. I love this song. It's a great song.
Ow.
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 Stub his toe. Ow.
Boom, 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 boom.
And then, I believe the last track, right?
Yep.
The Night of the Thumpasaurus Peoples.
What an opening, though.
Like this is what I want to hear with funk.
Yeah.
You know,
Slows
the
it down
tight
again.
rhythm section, the horns going at it. Yeah. Just like I said earlier,
That
I think the
bass.
album ended strong than
Yeah.
it began, which is why it took me a while to get into it.
I love that. This has just such a iconic bass, like
Yeah,
just funk feel.
reminds me of Two Finger Terry.
Two-finger Terry. I do agree, though. From, I guess, Unfunky UFO, but really the Super Groova Lista Pro Funkization.
You almost had it.
Close. From there on, the B-side, essentially,
Yeah,
is just killer.
yeah.
Mhm.
And the B-side is killer when it comes to this style of music.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 songs was almost like they had like a 20-minute introduction
Yeah.
that they just slightly missed the mark on.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess if you're looking at a concept album, maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
Again, I
They
think
were-
their concept though was pretty loose.
It's gotta be. I mean,
Hey,
I'm not
man,
really.
Let's get some space sounds. man.
When you're listening to, when you think concept album,
Better
you think
connect.
like deep lyric
right,
storytelling. This is like, if we get high enough, we can go to space.
Right.
If we do all this drugs, we'll
All
be up
this
there
drugs.
in no time.
Nice. That's funny. And Tear the Roof Off This Sucker was number 2 for singles.
What was the first single?
P-Funk. The intro.
Wants to get
The intro, okay.
Yeah.
a 7.5 minute single.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, I guess back then it wasn't as... Well, did it say? Star Child had a promo radio version. It was only 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But that was their 3rd single. So maybe after the first 2, they were like, we got to get a shorter single.
Yeah.
All right, listen up.
We're going to change this.
Yep.
Good shit.
But for an outro, like, would have been nice to have a little more vocals in it. You know, it's very jammy.
Yeah.
So you start to, I'm currently 2.5 minutes in, so I'm halfway through. And I haven't heard a ton of singing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. But I mean, that's something for the whole album, too.
Yeah.
Like, vocals isn't really the main focal point.
Right,
Nope.
it's funk, you know?
It's supposed to be, like, in the background,
Yeah.
you know.
Kind of have a lot of noises. Just like
Yeah.
literally noises.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, where'd that come from?
Almost sounds like that theremin thing.
Oh, yeah.
The thing like Jimmy Page would play
Oh,
with
okay.
the air, like that
Yeah,
antenna thing,
yeah.
you know?
That's Theremin.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
Ooh gaga.
Yeah. Ooga gaga.
I feel like that should be from that what was
Hooked
that?
on
The
Feeling.
dinosaur song that George Clinton did with Mario and
Yeah.
the Goombas.
Yep,
And
yep,
what the
yep.
hell?
I'm also thinking you
Ooga Chaka.
yeah, Ooga,
Oh,
Ooga,
yeah,
Ooga,
that's
what I was
Chaka,
thinking.
Yeah.
Little
Blue Suede.
yep.
It's reviewing all over the place.
we have no idea what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And we're not high.
I know.
We aren't.
Oh, that's funny.
There you go.
P-Funk.
Yeah, so this album was interesting because I feel like it was a bit out of our wheelhouse. We've never really done a funk album like this, at least in the past. I enjoyed it a bit more for what it was than for like, well, I enjoyed it more for like what it represented and
Right.
what it influenced more than like baseline, just what the songs were. Obviously that style of music is gonna draw a bit more of a jammy style to it, where it's not as focused on lyrics or like having a good not necessarily flow, but like highs and lows, like on the last one where you said like you had a fast song and then it kind of goes down to a slow song to keep it from getting stale.
Keep it balanced.
The only kind of difference that this album had from track to track was just like the tempo. And the main feel you get on most of the tracks, I feel, is pretty similar to me.
Right.
So I feel like it could have used a bit more variation in its sound, but yeah, no, I did think it was there were some good aspects to it that I enjoyed quite a bit.
Yeah, I've just read up a little more on it throughout, and it talks about how, like, Dr. Dre, we talked about samples, and he used Mothership Connection, Star Child, and P-Funk on Chronic. So those were a couple of
That's an
spots
album
where
we should do.
Yeah, where he came, you can see where that P-Funk or Parliament or Funkadelic or just funk in general, whatever you want to call it, overlaps into the G-Funk, which is that West Coast style of rapping mixed in with some of that funk. I guess Rolling Stones gave it 5 stars. No, is it out of 5? I don't know.
5.
So yeah, they gave it 5 stars. But it was known to have like more of a slang side to it. It wasn't like straight funk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that was coming out in that time. It was the progressive version.
It wasn't right. It wasn't like commercial funk.
Yeah.
Like she's a brick.
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, was that Lionel
It's not
Richie
Mark
or something?
Ronson.
No, that's not Lionel. Who is that? Brick House.
Jesus Christ.
Who did Brick House?
Brick House.
It was
Oh
who
my
did Brick
god.
House?
This is
I know.
embarrassing.
I know. Rob Zombie did a cover of it, which was actually pretty good.
Commodores.
Commodores, yeah.
Commodores, okay, yeah.
Brick
But
House,
yeah, it wasn't-
2003 with Lionel Richie.
Was that Rob Zombie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking Lionel Richie, because he did the Rob Zombie version.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Cool.
But yeah, it wasn't that like standard funk poppy kind of feel. And they also talk about him having a revolving band lineup.
Yeah.
Like he just always just had guys coming in, and
Yep.
Like,
you can tell though on the album you have that feel, just
Yeah.
in the way of like this guy's singing, this guy's playing bass, this guy's playing guitar. You know, there's different vibes. There's all these different things. So
yeah, it's like Chicago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that feel.
But again, like you said, Tom, for what they influenced,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how many of these songs are we hearing? We're like, wait a minute, that was in Snoop, that was in Dre, that
Exactly.
was in,
Yeah.
like
Right.
all these things
Yeah.
that we didn't realize it was in until later. Just shows you how much influence they really did have,
Yep.
especially
for sure.
George Clinton himself,
Yeah.
with everything he wrote and produced.
Mm-hmm. Tracks.
So, yeah,
Tracks. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I guess I will start.
You shall.
Give Up the Funk is definitely my number one.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, being the second single off of it in 1976 it was released. Doesn't give a date, just 1976. But that is definitely the one song that you hear on this album that you're just like, I know this song, I'm jamming to this song. Worthy single.
Right from the
Right,
right,
yep.
right from the start too. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's also my number one. I mean, for all the same reasons. It's something you can immediately latch onto if you don't really know
Yep.
the rest of the album. You know, I feel like most people have heard it, even if you're not a Parliament fan. That's mine.
Yeah, you jammed to it.
Yeah.
I guess we're 3 for 3 because I also went with Give Up the Funk for the
Yeah.
exact same reasons that you guys said. It's just a good time all around. Definitely gives off good vibes. You know, I'm used to it, so it's not something completely foreign to me, and I think that helped a little bit too. So
There you go.
I will go with that. I will say my least favorite, probably just because of the length and the weird like spoken word bits. I'll probably go with P-Funk. Wants to get funked up. It's it's the longest one and it's the beginning of the album, and it was just a bit too slow for me. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. I just love that P-Funk wants to get funked up.
Oh yeah, no, there's
Yeah.
great bits to it.
Like, there's some bits to it. I think Mothership Connection, for being the title track, just didn't have the star power that
The weight.
the weight that you would hope a title track has.
Even though it's called Star
you know.
Child.
Yeah, Mothership Connection, Star Child. You
Yep.
know, I just didn't have, the holding power that you would hope that title track has.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of I have a little more respect for P-Funk only because it is the opening, and I kind of understand they're kind of doing like a radio opening, and they've got all these different pieces to it. And as long as it is, I kind of get why it's long. Where the next one is long and kind of just lost me from Mothership. So that would be my bottom.
Yeah. I agree with Tom. My bottom's P-Funk. Like the first 2 minutes, love it. I like.
Yeah.
I love the lyrics. I love the groove. It's a great groove, but it never really progressed from there.
Yeah.
And, Mike, you're saying why it's so long, but it doesn't really translate well to a recorded
I get that.
record.
Yeah.
If you want to extend it, do it live, but have like solos going on during that section. But it didn't really translate well to the recording because they didn't really do much for those like 4 minutes. But like you guys said, there were bits to it that were good. It's just overall as a song, that was my bottom song.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And for the minted Sleepy Dark Horse, I went with Unfunky UFO. Great song. Track 3, finally what I wanted, like from a Grandfathers of Funk album, such an iconic funk album. That's where it started. Yeah, that's mine, Unfunky UFO.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually went with Night of the Thumpasaurus Peoples.
Nice.
For 2 reasons. One is that it's the last track on the album and it's like the least played, so you're really not going to get to it until you listen to the whole thing. And 2 is that bass line. It is so fat and crisp and like just
True.
right there, and
Very true.
I need it injected into my veins. So I went with that.
Nice.
Nice.
I really dig super groovealistic pro
I'm not typing that.
funkication. I'm
Super.
sure I'm not going to say it right.
Pro
But
Funkistication.
yeah, that was a cool song. It had a good
The bumps
good jam.
Yeah.
bumps.
I really just enjoyed that song, and it kind of, when you hear the title and you're kind of listening to the album, not paying attention to the tracks, it's just one of those tracks where like you get into it and then you realize after, like, oh man, I was really into that track.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my sleepy dark horse.
There you go.
For sure. Awesome.
So,
How about our beer here?
We didn't rate the whole album yet.
Oh shit! I'm skipping ahead. See, I'm really out of practice.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, I'm just coming back from Sheboygan.
Yeah.
Rate the album.
Trenton.
Rate the
Mike,
album.
Mike, your album.
Yeah, it's my album. So I gotta give it an 8.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving it an 8
Nice.
for a few reasons. One, I can put this on in the background and just jam to it, and it fits almost all situations. Like I can really listen to it at almost any time and just kind of jam with it. If I don't have to criticize it like we did. How many times have we said we love an album and then we really dig deep and criticize it? We're like, okay, we found some flaws that we didn't notice and things like that. And that's happening. But and also for the, as Tom pointed out earlier, the influence it's had on so many future styles.
Very true.
You really just can't deny, all the hip hop and the rap albums we've already done, like Doggy Style, where you're hearing
It's all over it.
Yeah, you're hearing some of these bass lines and you're like, oh shit,
Even the way this album opened versus Snoop Dogg's, where they talk about P-Funk and he talks about the G-Funk.
When we've listened to how many of the hip-hop and rap albums we've done that have had kind of those skits and those openings that, kind of P-Funk right there in the first track really, like, started.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
And so for that point of it, along with the grooves and the jams and everything else, I give it an 8.
All right, sweet. I'm going right down the middle. I'm giving it a 5. I wish they I know why they made the album this way, because they're psychedelic. They're kind of the, what do we call it? Alternative. No, not like mainstream funk. It was
Underground funk.
Like
progressive funk.
They were, a little.
I get why they did that, right? But I just wish they trimmed the fat a little bit on some of the songs. Maybe added in, once you do that, like add in another 1 or 2 tracks with like some sick beats, funky groove lines, funky bass lines. I mean, and it had a couple good songs on there, and I didn't go lower than a 5 because of its cultural prominence. So
Yeah.
I went with a 5.
Joe, you and I are lockstep today.
Wow.
I also gave it a 5.
All right.
I understand, like you said, the cultural impact that it had and the style that it's going for. But I don't know if that's just me or if that's just the genre of, it does get a little groovier and, not as, lyric driven. Maybe it's just I'm a singer too. I like a bit more vocals. I don't know. But it felt like everything was like 2-3 minutes too long, If you trim these songs down to maybe 3-4 minutes and then add, like you said, a couple more tracks, maybe it gets bumped up a bit more. But I don't know. That's just in the style of funk, I would assume.
Right.
To be just a bit longer,
Yeah,
draw things out a bit more.
You're talking 1975. Everyone was high as shit.
Yeah.
You just kinda
On whatever you
moved and
had.
stuff. Whatever, yeah. It wasn't even, just whatever. Also, cool little side note that they remastered this in 2003.
Oh, okay.
And they put out, like I said, that promo radio version of Mothership Connection Starchild, but it's the other way around. It's Starchild, parentheses, Mothership Connection.
Oh, interesting.
So they renamed it essentially and just flip-flopped. Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of cool.
Very cool.
How you guys feeling on Infinite Universes from Back East Brewing?
Yes. This is my beer. I'll go.
This is your beer?
Yeah. It's a good beer. Really good beer. Definitely on the citrusy end. Let me get one more swig of it. I'm going to give it a 7. I'm giving it a 7. I don't think you could drink a lot of these. I think it's kind of a one and done with the flavor. But it's a very well made IPA. They just, all their IPAs are just solid in their the color. They're nice and cloudy. 7.
Okay. I'm also going to go right down the middle with this one again. I'm going to give this one a 5 as well. I'm not sure if it's the papaya in there that's putting me off a little bit. I've never really had a papaya, so maybe that's it. or if it's just like the Galaxy hops just being, okay in it. But it's like right down the middle for me. It's nothing I'm gonna go home and think about for days. But it's not something that I'm gonna like pour the rest of out.
Right.
I'll have like one or two of them, but I can't really do any more than that. So I'm gonna go right down the middle for both of these. Pretty 5 review for me.
Cool.
Yeah, giving it a 6.
Okay.
It was
down the middle of the two of us.
Exactly. It was a good IPA. Anytime you mix in, like I said, coconut's my bugaboo.
Bear traps
and
old people.
Old people. Coconuts are my bugaboo. Pineapple is probably shortly after.
Yeah.
I know there's not a hard pineapple flavor in this, but just that style citrus.
Mm-hmm.
You mix the lemons, you mix the oranges, things like that. You start getting into the mangoes and the pineapples. Sometimes that loses it for me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was at. Not a bad IPA, just wasn't my go-to.
A cup of tea.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Nice. All right. Shout-outs.
Shout them out.
Let's see. I got to see, does Parliament have any kind of social media?
I don't know.
I think they're touring.
Parliament.
It's at least backeastbrewing.com. That's what I've been using for their thing. They also have live music there too.
They do have some live music.
Yep.
As we've played there a couple times. Good spot.
Oh, look at that. You're even on their website right now.
Hey.
It's from July 23rd, but yeah.
Yes, that was our show.
Yep.
And then they're Back East Brewing on Instagram. We previously did their Ice Cream Man, so now we have this on the Van Halen episode.
Yep.
But yeah, solid spot. They make great beers. And then Parliament, and then there's Funkadelic, and then there's Parliament Funkadelic, which is like a super group of both.
Mm-hmm.
So check them out. Cool.
Yeah, go ahead and look into those. But that's going to be it for us. Next time on the Hops and Bops podcast,
We've made it.
it's the big 5-0.
The big 5-0.
Yes, Hawaii 5-0.
Yep.
We're going to do a bit of a retrospective.
From Hawaii?
I hope so. That'd be lovely.
That'd be nice.
I think we actually, our sponsors bought the tickets.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So shout out to those, whoever they are. Wikipedia.
They're all the people that
Wikipedia.
hit us up in the comments. DM us at this. DM us at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And our good buddy Giuseppe, he's paying for it, so
Yeah.
thank you to him. So I've spent the last couple weeks making this really big like Excel spreadsheet of all of our ratings of the albums and beers, and then I've also got all of our favorites, least favorites, sleepers.
Mm-hmm.
So, or sleepy dark horse, if you will. So we're gonna do a bit of a go through of that. I'll do like an average, like see what our average rating is, and then we'll talk about our favorite album that we've done, our least favorite, and our sleeper album that we've reviewed that not a lot of people are getting turned on to. So
Yeah.
and then we might be bringing our favorite beers along with that as well.
Yep. We're each going to bring our favorite beer that we've done,
Mhm.
and that'll be like what we're drinking while we chat.
Yep.
And we'll be talking about like what our favorite beers were, least favorite beers, dark horse beers.
Exactly.
And we'll talk about some other categories like albums that surprised us, albums that were kind of underwhelming, a favorite from someone else that someone else brought, and then our crown jewel is we're going to be releasing our Hall of Fame, our official Hops and Bops Hall of Fame. We'll be inducting all of our perfectly scored drinks and albums. And then we may also do like a honorable mention each to induct.
Yep.
Something that wasn't quite perfect, but deserving of being in the Hall of Fame.
We should get some kind of shelf to put them on somewhere.
Yes.
Somewhere around here.
That'd be nice.
Set it up. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, no, it's going to be a cool look back next episode. And our 1 year is coming up too the end of September. We have something cool planned for that.
Yep.
Yeah, so look for that, episode 50 next week.
Yeah.
And for now, thank you for listening. Keep it going. Spread the word. Hops and Bops Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. For Mike and Tom, I'm Joe. We'll see you next time.
Peace.